What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a top 10 player playing Risk Global Domination on PC. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do Fix Fridays every Friday, and I do this show, the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast, on Wednesdays. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along the ride with me. And for today's episode of Waiting on Your Best Behavior, we have Frail Waif. How are you?
I'm great, Pete. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show, bro. I appreciate it. Frail and I were going to start with a very creative 1v1. Do you happen to know the settings in your head?
Yeah. Multi-dead caps, 4 bots. Tourney settings are, Blizzard's on, Fog on, Alliances on, just for fun.
Really?
Expert bot.
Oh,
yeah.
Not in the tourney, but in this.
No, in the tourney, it's
I didn't notice for some reason. That's very interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't noticed. I actually
noticed
sent a message to one event helper at one point, like, "Oh, this isn't," because in the last tournament, one person got mad about settings at one point.
Sure. Okay, so we got caps, we got auto, we got progressive cards, expert 60, fog on, blizzard on, alliances are on, and balance blitz dice?
Yes.
All right.
Yep, all
do you see my game?
Yes, I do. I am joining.
So it's 4 bots, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this, for the audience, this is an odd 1v1 to me because there's an awful lot of bots to have in a 1v1, but you guys will likely see why. I've played this 2 or 3 times now. How many times have you practiced on this one?
Yeah, also 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and what round is it? Do you recall?
I think it is round 5. It's the half of the map on round 5. It's France and then Mall the Dead Caps.
France and Mall the Dead Caps. So they're going to be short games and then long games. Well, France can potentially stalemate too, I guess. Okay,
yeah,
so
that could just be a long round.
Let's introduce you to the audience. First of all, Frail Waif. I love it. How did you come up with that name?
Yeah, I was inspired by the. I'm going to pick a cap, not get too distracted.
Yeah. This is the
auto-generated risk names, kind of vaguely based on that. There are some fun combinations of words there. And I also thought it'd be kind of funny. Some of them.
Hold on, it wasn't intentional. This was a risk name.
No. Okay. I was inspired by the auto-generated.
Got it.
Yeah, and some of them sometimes sound kind of like strong or something, and I thought it'd be pretty funny to have one that sounds as weak as possible.
Yeah, so that's what catches me about your name. I don't know how many of the audience knows what the word waif means, because I've had a number of people ask me about it whenever it came up. So a waif is putting it behind me, sure. A waif is like a...
behind you, huh? Is there something interesting up there?
I mean, accept my alliance request and you'll find out. Or are you saving it for that opportune moment?
No, I think I learned what I needed to there.
Uh-huh. It's all good.
I will end my turn so that I can keep talking.
Yeah.
I have trouble talking and playing at the same time.
You're not alone. It's been a common theme in the show. So what is a waif? Can you define a waif for me?
Oh, let's see. I think a person who is very down on their luck. I think it sometimes in history has referred to an orphan. I think that's the best I can come up with for a definition right now.
Sure.
I think I looked it up on Wiktionary just to confirm.
Nice.
That it fit my.
And then frail obviously is another way to evoke weakness, which is an interesting kind of mind game to play if you're going into a 1v1, right? You play mostly 1v1s?
I would say I played plenty of free for all like many people, but I definitely I find myself enjoying 1v1s more often than not.
So, explain to me the mind game involved in that. What is the point of trying to lead with weakness if it's just you versus one person? Aren't they going to just play optimally to kill you anyways?
I find, and so yeah, I made this change initially. My risk name was my Google Play account name, which is just my name and some numbers. And I was approaching the top 100, and I think I was maybe thinking about I hadn't joined Discord at that point, but yeah, I was thinking, okay, if people are going to see this name, maybe I shouldn't be broadcasting my real name everywhere.
What kind of psycho would do that?
Yeah, I applaud everyone that feels comfortable doing that. I generally prefer.
I'm the vast minority in that regard.
I like a little bit of anonymity on the
sure,
internet.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what, dude? Some risk nerd wants to knock on my door. They're welcome to it. Hasn't happened yet.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair. Ooh, this is turning good for me. Maybe I should show you accept your alliance at some point. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I was getting into the top 100, and yeah, of course. So getting higher on the leaderboard, I thought, yeah, it'd be a good time then to choose a name that might cause people to underestimate me.
So was it more of like
or at least would be funny?
Was it more of a metagame call, like you're trying to not get sniped?
No. I mean, I really wasn't worried about sniping at that point. I was playing literally everyone, hardly even filtering alts at all. I've ended up playing alts of basically everyone good on Discord at some point.
Sure.
Yeah, no, more just mostly. I think it's kind of funny to be a good risk player and have a name that sounds like I'm very weak.
So you're doing it more for the jokes than for the strategy.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh man, that's not what I would have expected you to say at all. I thought it was like a misdirection.
Okay, I mean, I think I go for that sometimes, but especially at this point, I've been on Discord for a while. Most people that I'm playing with know me. There's the chance for that is pretty limited. There occasionally maybe, but mostly I just think it's fun.
So let's give the people your bio before we go too far into it. You are how old?
I am 32.
32. And you told me once your profession, I don't know if you want to say that publicly or not.
Yeah. I'm a physicist.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I certainly enjoy it.
What field specifically are you working in?
I work in electron microscopy, and specifically I'm designing new ways to look at things with electron microscopes. So I know that probably most people haven't heard of or used an electron microscope. It's a microscope for seeing really small things with electrons.
I've definitely heard of it. I've certainly not used one.
Fair. It's a really great tool that has developed a lot in the last 50 years and is one of the best ways to see things at the atomic scale. Really having trouble paying attention.
Yeah, I know. You're not alone, man. This happens. I've actually... Okay. So you would say you're much more of a math brain then, right? You're a math brain, or are you a bit of both?
Yeah, sure, both. I don't know. I have trouble with those kinds of questions. I don't.
So
really...
the way I'm trying to distinguish it is I've noticed a theme amongst top players is that a lot of top players are analytical and calculating, and
sure.
Oh man, you're just gonna eat me up, aren't you? And I've noticed the common thread there is they have trouble talking and playing because the playing, right? Because the cognitive load. I still have some trouble when I'm really concentrating, but like take someone like Obi-Wan, who's also he's an aerospace engineer, so like very oh fuck off. I shouldn't tell you all these things because then you know what's happening. But
yeah,
my heart is
definitely on
my sleeve this game. Fucking give me a fucking break, eh? All right, so you're working on new and better ways to see really, really small things.
Yes, exactly.
And you're an American living in Canada, you told me.
Yep.
How did you find yourself in that situation?
That actually has nothing to do with my job and where I am in Canada. There's really not a ton going on in my field. I'm in Calgary, and a a lot of the really good electron microscopy in Alberta is actually in Edmonton, and that 3-hour commute for anything there wasn't particularly appealing to me. So I ended up here because my partner is doing a PhD at the University of Calgary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The one and only time I saw Calgary. So my sister is a tissue engineer.
Okay.
So she got her professorship at UBC, and she's a twin. So me and my twin sisters drove from Toronto to Vancouver to drive her out there, and it was my chance to sort of see. I saw the northern United States, and I saw every province on the way except for Manitoba. I didn't get to go through. I went through Saskatchewan instead.
Okay. Were you guys weaving back and forth across the border? Or?
The route was through Michigan to Chicago, and then through Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota. I saw Deadwood and Mount Rushmore.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then Calgary. You know, it was good. Yeah. It was a really fun trip. You know, back when borders were open and you could travel and explore the world. Hopefully that returns.
Yeah. Wait, so is the fastest way actually from the Toronto area to cut through Michigan?
No, we specifically made a point to go to a restaurant in Chicago called Alinea. My other sister's a chef. So I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant before, but Alinea was mind blowing.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, it was spectacular. It's like a theatrical performance with food, essentially.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, that sounds really cool.
So you find yourself in Calgary. This was the summer before the pandemic. This was July, and then so not a full year, but almost a full year.
Okay. Is that all the siblings you have? You said 2 sisters?
Yeah, I got twin sisters. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Wait, they're twins?
They are twins. Well, so it's funny. So my sister Michelle is 6 feet tall, and she's a chef, so she's like my size person. And then my sister Jenna is 5 feet tall and a research scientist, so it's like they couldn't be more different to look at them. You would expect I would be twins with Mish, but yeah, that's our story.
Okay. Cool.
So you find yourself in Calgary. How are you liking it?
Decently. I guess, you know, it's an interesting province politically. You know, I kind of feel like without going into too much politics, I'm sure your show has a broad audience, but you know, coming here in 2020, early 2020, kind of actually March of 2020, I felt like I jumped out of the pot and into the fire, or maybe in reverse. But you know, politically, a very interesting place. But otherwise, you know, people seem great. The mountains are great. A lot of great things about living here.
That was about as neutral as you could have possibly said that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a.
Hey, look, I have no problems. I don't pull my punches politically, but I actually don't align with anything either. So that's my way of weaseling out. I kind of occupy multiple positions simultaneously.
Like, that seems more viable in Canada.
Then well, that's another part of the trick, though. So I watch what our news media and our propaganda tells us to think, and I say, this is smokescreen, right? This is misdirection, similar to what I assumed your handle was for. Like, let's pay attention to all this nonsense that isn't relevant and doesn't actually trigger any progress, any meaningful progress, and let's not pay attention to important problems, and let's maintain status quo so the powerful stay powerful. Like in my opinion, the political spectrum, right versus left, is a false dichotomy. There is no such thing, right? It's artificially generated to intentionally create infighting so that status quo is maintained.
Sure. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the intentions ascribed there. I think that's, you know, an open question how much and who, but I do agree that that often happens.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I'm not presuming anything conspiratorial. I'm saying that it is an emergent phenomenon.
Sure,
From
okay,
from the systems we've created. Not that there is
Sure.
any, mustache twirling evil genius pulling the strings somewhere.
Okay, all right. Then I totally agree with that.
Right. No, absolutely. The world is rudderless at the moment. That's sort of where I don't buy into any sort of. I mean, other than the obvious, other than you can predict that a very powerful person would do their best to remain very powerful.
Sure.
Oh, get the fuck! Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, so I just had the bot roll a 15 on 8 on my cap and win.
Oh, wow.
And have 8 troops left. So enjoy your victory,
Ouch.
sir. There's no, I'm fucking toast now.
So you're saying I should come take your cards?
You can take everything. I'm finished.
Yeah, I guess.
I bet you I won't get that kind of roll on the fucking cap. Watch this.
No, yeah.
No, I lose way more troops than that.
Ouch.
Of course. Okay. Well, at least it'll be quick. I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. I should ask you. I should ask you something to fill the air. Okay, so why don't you tell us about how living in Alberta met your expectations versus didn't? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Okay, so I would say a positive surprise. I was fairly struck looking just at satellite images and Google Earth and everything by how flat it is, not in the mountains, and I have been really positively surprised at. It's reasonably hilly in the Calgary area. There are a lot of river valleys, and there's some interesting hills that are not actually just the mountains. So that was a nice surprise. In terms of meeting my expectations, I think Americans have the stereotype of Canadians being really super nice, and so far that is largely borne out, except on the roads. That's a separate question, maybe. Just moving here, people were really curious about our lives, like, oh, where are you going? Why are you moving? And I had been in Germany before that, and that was really a very refreshing change from Germany. I mean, Germany, there are reasons for the culture there, and nothing particularly wrong with it, but I do like this kind of just open, hey, how you doing? What's going on with you? Random stranger who I really have no reason to care about, kind of thing. That seems to be more common here, certainly than Germany and parts of the U.S. as well.
Toronto's not like that, so
I can totally understand that. Calgary kind of feels like I don't know. It feels big and small in different ways. It's such a sprawling city. It feels like it's a lot of suburbs agglomerated into one city of over 1 million people. And so it's feels small and big at times, but it does often feel pretty friendly. So that's been nice.
So the one thing I wanted to touch on that I heard you say, the word nice. So if that is a stereotype for Canadians, I would like to use a different word.
Okay.
Okay, the word I use is smug. Right? Canadians tend to have this quiet, expected superiority, particularly versus Americans.
Okay.
Which I think is mostly undeserved. Like when you look at the history and you look at the current way that the two nations, of course that happens. Wow.
Blue coming for you?
Well, no. So I've been slammed by blue and black this game.
Okay.
Just slammed, like absolute every turn. These bots are extremely punishing, and it looks like you haven't actually expanded as much as I would have expected you to.
No, yeah, I haven't. I think in part because of that, I haven't. They're not slamming me, but they're coming towards me, and I think it hasn't been worth it for me to. I have 4 capitals, so I don't feel particularly compelled to hold a continent right now.
I see. Well, I have 7 troops left, so you should kill me.
Yeah, let's see if I can get to you. I might be able to. Find out. Actually, I can probably just take all the capitals. Anything left down there?
Maybe if you watch through this show.
Let's just end it this way.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Maybe if you watch through this show, you can give me some pointers as far as my game. Maybe I did something like horribly wrong there, but I just
I think this is just a hilarious game.
It seems like a lot of
just
luck, huh?
Subject to and I think that's why it's this is 5 rounds out of 10, right? There's going to be some luck in this, and it's really just playing what you've got and trying not to get slammed too hard by the bots. And I got lucky, and I happened to see that one of the bots smashed another bot cap in round 2,
right away.
And then that gave me 2 caps, and then the the 4th cap was also in that same room. So it's a lot of snowballing. I mean, the reason I thought it'd be fun to play with you is I think it feels a little bit more like a free for all game where you're playing on instinct.
Totally. And I play with bots a lot, but that was not at all how I expected that to go. You know what? I don't play with bots and caps a lot though. So,
okay,
all right, what are we
yeah.
doing? Are you feeling like more 1v1s, or do you want to make a?
Do you want to do another one of those? I mean,
sure.
That went really quick.
Too quick.
I
okay.
That was,
fine. I'll try harder this time. Let's go. I noticed you didn't accept my alliance request, so
I did not. Hold on, just 2 seconds. My partner.
Take your time.
Sorry, we had maybe a plumber coming today, and it's not happening. All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think these games always end hilariously, no matter what. So.
But
might as well do it.
That's odd to have as a setting in the later rounds of the 1v1 tournament. Wouldn't you expect? Like Sterling.
I mean, I think
these are skill based, so there are a lot of skills.
I think it is. It's it's a very different skill set than normal, and it's probably higher luck than most other rounds. But
I was going to say it has to be higher luck.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I think going earlier in turn order is certainly helpful. Ow, these are some crazy blizzards. I'm guessing you're going to put your cap there, so I'll put mine here.
Oh, you motherfucker. Fine. Fuck. Now I can't, though, right? Well, I still can, but it's significantly less good. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, there have also been games, there's definitely some perseverance that can be involved in this. That game was not particularly long, but there have been games where, like, one person thinks they're almost dead, right? And then, there's some crazy card luck or, something happens, right? And
it is progressive.
The game totally reverses.
Yeah, if you can farm any of these bots successfully, there's a lot of little pockets for them to hide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
there's also a lot of different strategies for winning, right? You can just try to rush all the caps if you get lucky on that. You can, farm the bots. Anyways, go ahead.
I wanted to dig into your sort of history with the game and with 1v1s. So sure. I learned of you, rather, that you don't filter your lobbies. You don't rank filter.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, so you have one of the highest natural ranks on the leaderboard for 1v1s.
Yeah, I think there are a couple people that have gotten higher, either playing Expert Plus or Master Plus, but not too many.
What are you at?
I tanked my ranking a little bit to try to get a better bracket for the 1v1 tournament, and that did not work.
No? Yeah, I should say, I was sorry to see, but of anyone to get knocked out in the 3rd round, champion ever would be one to do it, so I wouldn't feel that terrible.
He played it well, and wasn't wasn't a lot I could do about that. So I'm giving you a nice opportunity here if you want it.
Oh, wow. I mean, I won't get it. Watch this.
You think Bot's gonna smash you?
And goodbye.
Yeah, Bot didn't smash me actually, so that's amazing.
Of course not. Let's just hand Frail the game. Why not? I'm such a salty man.
Oh, coming in for the other end. Dang.
No, it's still risky though. It's still risky.
Yeah, that can turn this. Let's see. Woo. Now, do I fight to get that back or just hide?
I don't know. I don't know what you do. But it was very early to make that play, so.
But yeah.
Yeah. So your highest ever rank was.
Right. I got to I think 28th or so. I was like 10,000 skill points under 6 million.
That's funny. I got to 29th in free for all, which was my all-time high.
Okay, yeah.
But that was 5.5. It was
sure.
Probably a different time. Okay, and how long into your journey in the game did you sort of get into 1v1s?
That is a good question. So it was a while ago. So I have a terrible memory for things that happened more than a year ago, and that was around a year ago or more.
Well, when did you start playing Risk?
I started playing I've looked this up a couple times. I got the receipt for my premium, which I bought like right after starting the game.
Yeah.
I think it was like May of 2019.
Me too. Oh, sorry, May of 2019. Okay, so you've been playing a full year longer than me.
Okay, yeah, you're new, huh?
No, well, I mean, I played Risk my whole life, but this app...
Sure.
So I specifically avoided playing video games for as long as I could.
Okay.
And then, pandemic
You mean
time.
Okay, sure, yeah. Yeah, pandemic bot.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah,
you are going to do it. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Fuck.
Amazing. Let's see. All right. Let's get this back out. Yeah, I was trying to hold that continent, just rush that continent really quickly, but yeah, that created some weakness. So I started in May of 2019, and then I was very bad for a long time. As you can see, I have a lot of games played. I think I got to like 700 games lost, 700 games won at some point, and was I think a grandmaster, but still not a very good grandmaster at that point. Starting to understand most aspects of the game. I was often winning some free-for-all games, and probably saw somebody hosting 1v1 Super World Caps, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty fun. I should join that. And I'm sure I got totally destroyed, as many people do.
Oh yeah,
when they
Super
join
World
1v1 Caps the first time.
Still like confuses the hell out of me too. That map specifically, I don't get.
Yeah.
Like it was so ironic that it was the buy round for round one, because I could have easily lost. I don't get that map.
Yeah, it's tricky. I love it. I really love it. But I think it's probably my best map.
Cool. Well, maybe you can help me sometime.
Yeah. If you have it on a non-buy round, on a future 1v1 tournament, I will be happy to practice with you.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm hoping to get some Brazil practice in too, because I'm playing dirty this round, and
yeah, that could be certainly interesting. I think you're probably favored, but yeah, it's really hard to know what to expect from Dirty. He played awfully in his very first game of round 2, and then very quickly picked it up. Really, like his skill level in the games accelerated from like. Beginner level to, high grandmaster as he actually is.
So I have
over the course of 5 games.
I have to keep him on his toes then.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not underestimating Dirty, that's for sure. What do you leave there? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Take my cap too. Why not? It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be really hard to know. I got the impression from watching round 2 that he isn't practicing a ton, just based on how quickly he got better in those games. He must not have practiced that much. he must just be a very skilled player that did zero practice.
Yeah, I have been practicing Brazil a ton.
So that's, I think, in your favor a lot.
Well, I've gone from a place of like essentially no understanding to I feel confident that I understand the strategy now. So it's more the edge cases that.
Yeah.
So what are you going to get? You're going to get 5. You're going to get 11. Okay. Man, I tried and it didn't work. So.
Yeah, no, I got pretty lucky on that.
So 11 plus 5. You take 16 V8, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, especially if it means taking your cap.
Right.
Although I might have better options. Let's see. That is a great cap, though.
Yep.
I like your cap.
Thanks, man. I like yours better. Yeah.
What were we talking about? Talking about the 1v1 tournament. And, how I got into 1v1. Yeah, saw somebody hosting it ranked. Thought that would be fun, and yeah, it's been. I've generally played 1v1 ranked from there. I got into. I was in the top 1,000 or so, and was still playing some free for all games, and decided, this is just losing me rank. It's fun, but net for my rank not that good, and started being more careful, and by the time I was getting closer to top 100, was really starting to be careful which 1v1s I joined. But yeah, then at some point shortly after I joined Discord, and yeah, now I actually play more free for all.
So to what extent do you care about your rank?
For this 1v1 tournament, I was working pretty hard on it.
I mean, in general, like as a facet of the game, right? Knowing what you know about the flaws in the ranking system.
Yeah, I guess I'm proud to maintain top 100 right now, and that's I guess about it. Is really all I care about at the moment. When there's not a tournament that's seeding based on it.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's about all I care about. I did not hit your cap.
So what?
Maybe it was a mistake.
What pulled? No, I don't think it was a mistake. I'm so far behind, I won't be able to catch up. Right? You're going to take your corner, and then you're going to push into me because I'm the next direction.
Probably.
Yeah. I like that I can see the future without having to see the map.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's where this is a little bit like a free for all game. There's some crazy fog where lots of things happen.
Well, it was this blizzard. I'll just point it out to the viewers. It's this blizzard here, right? So there's no way to connect. Frail now takes the corner, and there's no way he can only go through me. So I can add to my cap and delay the inevitable, but I'm doomed.
Interesting. I thought you were going to smash into me.
What would the upside of that be? Then I'd have no troops on my cap.
Yeah, for me, an easier attack on your cap, but
yeah, okay,
less so for you.
Yeah, well, you're too used to playing against people who just straight up don't know what they're doing at all. I've learned a thing or two from playing, but yeah, that was where I wanted to ask you next. You say you found Discord.
Yep. I joined Discord. I think March of this year, probably.
And what jumped out to you? Like, what caused you to join it? Why? Why did you join Discord?
I don't know.
And then why?
I guess it was
why did you stay?
Maybe the pandemic. As with you joining Risk in general, I think that accelerated my Risk playing quite a lot. Yeah, I guess, there was that link in the bottom of the app I'd seen forever, and at some point I was like, all right, I guess I should go check this out. I've never really done any kind of like social gaming since I played World of Warcraft when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I have tried to never go back to anything like that. And okay, now I will hit you.
Damn it.
And yeah, but I figured
because it was too addictive. I've been
playing this game enough. Yeah. I got several friends into it, and some of them have never stopped. Like, 15, 16 years later, still doing the same thing.
Well, that was my thing, right? I was playing Magic for a decade before COVID, and like that. You want to talk about addictive games? Like I was playing, 3 nights a week and spending a lot of money on it, and no regrets, because that actually I'm probably net positive on that investment, but if you can believe it. Well, the joke of that is
from tournaments or from selling nice cards.
Well, not. I mean, maybe it's still invested, so it's
okay.
But I would bet you that I could break even, if not make a profit at this point. From like a large part, I don't know how much you know of Magic, but a large part of the game for me was always the speculating market side of it.
Sure. Speculating on
the cards themselves.
Cards?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Interesting. Okay. I know the game. I played it a couple times, but yeah, certainly not very into it. I know nothing about card value.
Oh, there's some
there's
some really ridiculous rare
I think
stuff
the bot's going to hit me.
that people are going to pay for. Good.
Oh, that was amazing.
Get slammed.
Wow. The bot lost 10,
Yeah.
and I lost 2 on that cap hit.
I think
luck is with me these
You're
games.
just blessed. Yeah, you're blessed on this show, sir. You get
I will take it.
Why not?
I will take it.
Why not?
Would have been nice to be blessed in my 1v1 tournament match, but didn't happen. I'll take it on the show.
Of all people, right? Like Champ is every time
He's good.
I
I think
Champ is very impressive.
I'll say this. I'll say this in a public forum. I think I would beat him in a 10-game series.
Okay.
It was very close, and he had a lot of good card luck. He is very good. He made very few mistakes, but he's extremely conservative. And I think realizing that, I was starting to realize that as the series was becoming decided, and it was a bit too late to really do anything about that. So.
And in caps, that can actually be quite a drawback.
Yeah. I mean, he used it to his advantage very well, and that's ultimately why he won. We had a lot of fairly open blizzards, especially when I went first. The first map was less open, but I chose a table cap. And yeah, I think that was to his advantage because that style works fairly well on open blizzards. He was really good at keeping enough on his cap that I could never get a good hit in, and then eventually he got cards before me, and he got a good enough hit going second. Often, anyways, yeah, I would I think like my chances for a 10-game series, but yeah, he's very good. He made very few mistakes.
I've always enjoyed my interactions with Champ. And because he kind of epitomizes that analytical grandmaster mind I was touching on.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this or maybe even if you agree, but I see myself as kind of like a minority of more intuitive, less intentional, sort of less processing, quote-unquote top players, right? Like,
okay.
I think there is the majority of guys would be like you or like Parlox, you know, or like Olive, right? Extremely numbers oriented and active, and you know, thinking hard in the moment. Okay, let me ask you this: do you, after that free for all, or sorry, after that 1v1 set against Champ, right, or after a long series of games, do you feel mentally tired? Do you find the act of playing tiring?
Not amazingly so. Yeah, actually, Parlox was really telling me that I blew it by practicing right before the game. The golden rule is to never practice right before the game.
What?
But
I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be true for me if my game was late at night. So actually, my round 2 game was really close. Belize played great and really made that a nail biter, and I only won in the tiebreaker for that. But that one was at 8 p.m. my time, and I think that could have been true there if I had been practicing too much. You know, that's late for me. You know, as a 32-year-old, you know, I go to bed at 10 p.m. So that might have been true there, but
Oh man.
Things are happening in this game, and I'm not paying enough attention.
I don't know what to do. I do not.
Coming at me?
No, I don't think that makes any sense.
Probably not.
Orange is everywhere, though.
But yeah, for this game, I like playing Europeans because we played in my midday, so I was fairly alert. Hearing you make that distinction, that characterization, I think I would actually put myself a lot closer to you.
Cool.
I think I have the capability to do that analytical stuff, but I actually find that I like Brazil a lot less than Simple World because I think Brazil, you do need to be careful about single troops, and you need to count. You need to think about probabilities really carefully, like what cap hit am I allowing if I leave this one troop right here. Whereas Simple World, I find, is a lot more positioning and tactics, which I enjoy a little bit more. It comes less often down to this one extra troop takes it from a 50% hit to a 75% hit, right?
Yes, you're already getting into the numbers a lot deeper than I do.
Okay, sure, but I'm telling you that I don't love them.
Okay, right on, man.
I actually, you are everywhere here.
I just made a big move. Let's see if you like what I did. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. How's it? Oh, shit.
I do like that.
Frail, no. I got that lucky set out of 3. I was like, this is my last chance. You were also able to see that I took 3 caps, right? Or do you have 3 caps? Do we mutually control all the caps?
Nope.
Now you have 3 caps. Oh, sorry.
I should have seen that.
Yeah.
No, I should have seen that, but I'm talking and not paying attention.
Sorry, dude. Well, that's part of the show, right?
Yeah, no.
It's
why
all
it's fun
part
to play this
of my evil plan. How many troops did you put in there? Let's find out.
Enough, I think.
That is a fucking lot. Goodness gracious.
So then where is your other cap?
It's like the worst possible cap spot.
Is it Disc Boutique? Find out.
Where is Disc Boutique? Let's see if I can find it.
It's a corner room. Does nothing.
Man, it never occurs to me how deep this one is now because of those blizzards. This other blizzard blocks it off too. The food court in this map, right, with these blizzards is so deep in there.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, a cap on Bottom Bridge would have been amazing if either of us had territory there, but I didn't. Okay, cards are getting massive, so it's probably time to kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who.
Hope it's not me.
Actually, yeah, you probably are the easiest to kill.
Yeah,
so.
of course.
What do you have? Okay, this is a bit... Do you have anything sneaky back here? You do.
Well done. Getting good dice, too. You were positive on that roll.
Anything back here? No. Where else are you? Oh, not there. Wow, not there. Definitely not there. I think you survive for now.
Well, we can use that term loosely.
I think some bots are really blocking you in pretty well.
Indeed. You
I
schooled
think I've actually been card blocking a bot for a long time and I didn't realize it.
Oh.
Oh.
You win again. Should we open this up to the community?
Yeah.
Get some free for all? Okay.
Totally.
Is there a certain type of free for all settings you'd like?
Yeah, I as you saw on Tommy's show, I am slow. So I love small maps.
Whatever you like, man. It's your show.
USA or Namidol could be kind of fun. Namidol caps could be long. I don't know.
So you have a hard out when? because you actually can't watch Olive's 1v1 if you're in VC, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so you have a hard out. So
right.
you need to be, what, we got like an hour and a half left?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I want to watch some of that. I have a strong sneaking suspicion that I know who Albert Maurice 1957 is.
That's why. Don't tell me.
So
tell me, but don't tell me now. Okay, so we're gonna put. Sorry, you want Namadol, progressive,
or USA, or anything. You pick anything small that you enjoy.
I'll do US. I'd rather do USA over Namadol because Namadol is very choky.
Yeah.
So we'll do USA, just like 6-player progressive.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool.
Or is 6 going to be? Is that going to be too tight on USA? I don't know.
No, USA is 44 territories.
Okay.
Let's try
do it then.
USA progressive. USA progressive. T2.
I was trying to find this last cap and
we'll see.
This bot is strong.
How long it takes? Yeah, you get to sit there and play until I set the game up for everyone.
Yeah.
I'll let you. Okay, I'll save this last spot for you, Frail.
I don't think I'm going to be able to end this anytime soon.
There's no game. There's no game yet, so I'm working on putting it together.
There's 40 on the bot cap. Not on the bot cap, blocking to get to the last bot cap.
How did I get so fucking bad?
These ones I had amazing luck. Picking first there allowed me to kill your best possibility for a cap, I think. Yeah, you don't want to be the outside on the dead end. It's never fun.
So
wow, bot is doing great.
So you have sneaking suspicion you know who that Albert Lemarice is, because there's 2 Albert Lemarices.
Yeah. The other one I think is a normal person, not an alt.
Okay.
They have Facebook connected. I think that would be a lot for an alt to do.
So what do you think of alts?
So I think
where do you come in on that question?
I think if the ranking system were better, I think it absolutely should be a hard and fast rule that you have to use your highest ranked account, unless you have extenuating circumstances. I've heard that Brutal always forgets his passwords or something like that, right?
Bullshit.
That's okay, I guess.
Bullshit.
But yeah, in general, I would like that rule. What I didn't like is it was really a bummer to see Marin get beaten in round 2 when he's a very good player. Because bot cap has 82 on it. I am not finishing that anytime soon. Okay, is this game set up? Should I leave this?
I mean, there's nobody in the lobby yet, so you still got time.
Okay.
Albert Lemarice beat Marin round 2, 6-4. So it was close.
Yeah, it was very close. It was a very high level game. Both if either one had been playing, probably most other round 2 opponents, at least half of the other round 2 opponents, both would have beat many of them, right? Very high level game, and Marin was out because Albert Lemarice 1957 is much better than their seed, right?
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, right? When people go out in early rounds because they weren't practicing, if they were expected to do better, that's on them, right? But if they go out in early rounds despite practicing very hard because their opponent was unexpectedly very tough, I think that's a negative thing for the tournament. I think that reduces the overall competitiveness of the tournament.
Yeah, totally.
Making brackets
and
really
so
like
that's why I think alts in the 1v1 tournament are completely unacceptable and shouldn't exist. Because there's the only viable argument that I've heard for alts is to avoid targeting in free-for-all, but I even feel like that's a non-issue because I'm the idiot who names his channel after that, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like the beauty of free-for-all is that it is the market force, right? It self-corrects to regress to the mean, and if anyone does shine brightly despite that, then that might speak to some kind of true intrinsic skill beyond. But
I think ultimately the fix for that problem would just be if SMG implements some kind of anonymization possibility for play with friends games, ranked would also be great. But if you can just, who's in your game, but you don't know which avatar they are, I think, there can be no targeting, right? Okay, you'd have to be very, very, very smart about it and say, I can see this must be Pete because he's doing this thing, and I hate when he does this thing, so I'm gonna go kill him, right? Mm-hmm. That's a pretty high level thought to do that. I think that would really reduce targeting to the point that it's a non-issue.
I just think it's cowardly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think playing under an alt is cowardly, and I think that take your lumps like everyone else, and in the interest of fairness, if you're going to be playing in camouflage, then everyone should be playing in camouflage. That's kind of where I come in on it. And, I'm not trying to get you to agree. I'm just kind of stating my opinion publicly because I've been ruminating on this thought for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't yet have a sound enough argument to present for why I think this way. And I'm working on that. We need one, so I'm really trying to get players. We just need one more player. Uh-oh. I think I lost Frail. Or did he move to the podcast? Let's move to the podcast server. Losing the guest on his own show. How can I fill the space? Well, there's a lot of interesting things Frail and I were touching on. Is he having internet trouble? Oh no. That's not going to be good. Come on, Frail. That fucking Calgary internet, How you doing? How you doing?
Hey Pete, you there?
Yes, I am. Internet?
Am I deafened?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Headset?
Ah, fuck.
Technical
difficulties.
The volume was off. Sorry about that. I'm on my phone now. My computer decided to poop out.
Ah,
looks
shit.
Like.
Too bad.
So I left the game so that I could call you on my phone. I'm going to rejoin the game.
Sweet.
And hopefully my phone can handle...
Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, man. We'll do our best.
It should be fine.
Do you want to go into the podcast server?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right.
I'm going to leave the game again so that I can do that.
Sure. Switch to podcast.
Okay, so
switch to podcast VC, and then we'll fire it up. All of these technical difficulties, you gotta love it. All right, I think I'm just gonna add a bot.
All right.
Or maybe we could do 5-player. We'll just do 5-player.
Oh no. AKO 4T7 took my car.
Alright, ready up. You're a green man.
Yep.
What is the
green
appeal
all the
of
way.
Green? Anything special about the color?
I've just always liked green. Yeah, and particularly this color green, when there was the darker green also available, this color was my green.
Lime.
Yep, exactly.
Alright, so I assume you played the board game.
Yes, I did. Yeah, the typical experience people have, making enemies with their family as a kid.
I wish my family would have played with me.
Oh, yeah? You never did?
No, it was
just with friends?
It was a group of friends. Well, so I have the privilege of having some lifelong friends. Like, I play Risk still with a couple of guys that I've known since kindergarten, so...
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's really fascinating to watch human beings go from like this, unformed lump of clay that we start out as to that is an aggressive start, Cowboy. To
I'm not sure if they want to let that happen.
I'm sure there's a plan. He wants that +2. Huh? He's going to fight for that +2. That changes what I'm going to do.
I will get out of your way in the southwest there.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll let you out. Fair enough. We're gonna do the continent style of USA. I can play that game.
Seems so, but it looks like I will lose that style.
No, you have You have Midwest. No, sorry, you're white. You have what?
Yeah, I wish I was green.
What can you get?
Nothing.
That's not true.
West Coast, if everyone else gets out of there, but I don't see why they would. South.
Yeah, but it'll take a couple of turns. It's a better bonus, though. You can play the long game. I see what Storm's going for.
Yep. So then I better get out of here. Let's see. Should I smash Cowboy for that? I'm just going to be a pain in his side. How about that?
Little revenge? I wouldn't put it past you. Very nice.
Get out of your way.
Thank you.
Go on up here. And 72%. This is almost certainly just handing you the game combination of these two moves. So I will just stay right here and take the +1.
We're still, see, that's way better. Yeah.
It's much better.
That's much better. Because I don't think Cowboy breaks you.
No, he now offers me an alliance request.
Yeah, exactly. he makes nice. What do you think of the competing in the free for all tournament? I don't recall seeing. Did you do it at all?
Yeah. I've done the last two. I was just out so early you didn't notice me.
Well, me too, man.
Yeah. When did you the last two?
I got out round 3 and then round 2 most recently.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was round 2 and then round 1. So.
Oh my god.
Even earlier.
You lost round 1.
First, yeah, this last one was brutal for me. A player suicided into me, I think on turn 2. Oh, ouch, Cowboy.
Why though?
Reject that alliance.
Why though?
He has made an enemy. Yeah, it was something like that, actually. It was a player decided that, oh, wow, he is just trying to kill me. I think I'm going to say revenge is best served cold on this one.
Yeah. Play the long game, sir. Live to fight another day.
Yeah, a player had decided on World Conquest. I took South America pretty early, but it seemed safe. It looked like my neighbor wanted Africa, but it turned out they actually wanted South America. Decided that was the only way they could win the game, and pretty much took me out.
And themselves in the process.
And themselves in the process. They were the next to die for sure.
Yeah.
I had troops in other places, but then literally every single other player took a crack at me. And if any one player hadn't done that, then I would have survived. But it was literally every single other player took a crack at me. And so the last one in turn order was the one to finish me off. And that was Vaniato, who I think made it pretty far in the tournament.
I think the semis, yeah.
Yeah, in part as a result of that, because they got to sweep up all of the points in that match.
They finished that game with like the max score, right? Yeah, on round 1.
6 points.
Yeah, so the volatility of that, I think, has been mitigated for this upcoming one. I think we're not doing eliminations until after round 2, so you at least get to play.
I was against that because I mean I really think that just pushes off the volatility one more round, right? Players like actually the person who suicided into me did make it to round 2, barely by 1 point.
Okay.
They made it to round 2, but yeah, everybody that would have been eliminated potentially by making terrible moves, right? they get to make those terrible moves for one more round, which I think is overall negative. Like I'm happy to be a sacrifice for the net good of the tournament, right? I went out and I was hoping the person who suicided into me also went out. That is not how it happened.
Okay,
but they went out pretty early.
But don't you suppose that that cuts against your earlier comment about, hey, if I played champ 10-round game, I might have been able to pull it out? Like, don't you feel like giving players more options to score some points somewhat allows the top of the skill to shine through?
I still think, though, those early rounds are just so volatile that adding in the bottom half of the players for one more round makes it potentially even more volatile. Potentially.
Well, then maybe the settings matter and they shouldn't be so volatile. Why are we having such ridiculous luck-based settings like World Conquest on round 1?
Honestly, I loved every match of that against good players, and it was really only the one that counted where there was any suiciding. I liked those settings a lot, honestly.
Cool.
And
that's fine. That's fine. That's not really my comment. My comment is more that they are quite lucky, right?
Yeah. It does. I mean, among equally skilled players, absolutely. Either lucky or stalematey. Yeah, and you need some suiciding to happen to break the balance a bit, I guess.
Do you tend to prefer fixed or progressive?
Definitely progressive. There are occasionally some fixed maps. I actually liked World Conquest. None of the practice matches I did ended up stalemating at all. I think I was sufficiently aggressive that either I won or I went out early.
Which I guess is merciful when you really think about it. Those like 3-hour fixed caps on Canada round 2 games were a tragedy to behold. I've had my very public battle with trying to figure out caps, and I think I've finally wrapped my head around it. Like, from talking to Tommy, I think he really helped me see... Because, Tommy plays fixed caps ranked, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, so he's like a top 500 player playing fixed caps ranked on his show. And that's nuts.
Pretty impressive.
And exactly, and quite impressive. So, I think what I was doing in the past was I was overestimating the skill in caps. I think it's just less than I thought there was, and a lot of players who particularly play it ranked, do so by exploiting the weaknesses of their opponents. And because I never play it ranked, and I only played against much higher on average quality opponents, that shit doesn't happen. So the games always stalemate.
Okay.
And it's not as much a function of caps mode as it is a function of the quality of the field. And as soon as I had that epiphany, I was like, oh yeah, and maybe Pete, because your show is so public, people aren't really so open to share with you all of their deepest, darkest strategic tricks, because as soon as you do, it becomes known by everyone. And that was a fun one to ruminate on. I'm a victim of my own success in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But first world problems, right? No, it's cool, man. I like figuring out that I wasn't actually missing anything, and played optimally, caps games do end in bot outs and suicides.
Cowboy is playing aggressive.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that actually undercut the move that I wanted to make. Oh, or it makes it happen. Almost. This is getting spicy.
Oh, buddy.
Spicy. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I the fixed games that I have played are mostly ranked, and I found them reasonably enjoyable because yeah, when you do have a huge skill variance in a fixed game, then stalemating is really hard to do.
Right. But as soon as you get to like the finals that I participated in, all 6 of those players were playing. Well, one of them bought it out, but which is hilarious when you like I don't know intentionally, but like, what is Storm stirring it up too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, she broke the bot green because green bought it out, right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We have a bot in this game.
Gone. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Should have said nothing.
Am I gonna get killed by anyone this round? Probably not. I'm not worth it.
Oh, you're still in 2 places. Watch Cowboy pop out of that corner and take me out of that entire position. I bet you he does.
Yeah, he might. He's got to go through somebody though. Oh, are you saying take cards and hit you in that corner?
Yeah, I think I lose all of my northeast position now.
Probably. I think you can avoid it.
It's only 6 troops though. It's not a lot. Not quite enough. Close.
So I know you play Fixed Fridays. Do you find yourself enjoying them these days? I know you had a long discussion at one point on the Grandmaster server about you were getting some flack for suiciding, and where are you currently at?
So I wouldn't do it at all if I didn't enjoy it. Right? It wouldn't exist at all. I mean, I really feel like the content I create is resonant with the audience, mostly because I'm having fun. Right? The big selling feature, I guess, secondarily, because I'm having fun. The big selling feature, I figure, is people want to get better at Risk. And then the secondary selling feature is I am somewhat of an entertaining person and fun to watch. But if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to be fun to watch. So I wouldn't do it at all. And I like Classic Fix, dude. This is my roots in the game too. I played a lot of Classic Fix in my life, and I'm not pretending to be super, super good at it. Like, I'm definitely not champ. So I'm having a lot of fun in the journey of improvement.
Sure.
And and like I'm seeing progress. I'm also seeing a lot of suicides, which is what you always hear on social media. People complain about, but like that's not what Risk, right? These types of games are way more interesting.
I want to take somebody out in the West to reduce my threat there, but that probably just increases the chance that you kill me there.
I don't see that as advantageous for you. If you hit Cowboy, he hits you. If you hit Storm, she hits you, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and like that conversation was helpful for me to just sort of take the pulse on. I think I lose my bonuses.
Ooh, yeah.
For me to take the pulse of the community as far as like what are my obligations to the audience that I have intentionally or unintentionally created. Right, I definitely want people to enjoy my show, but I also can't expect them to enjoy my show at my expense. So it's selfish, but it's selfish for an almost altruistic reason.
Sure.
In order for me to be the best Pete I can be, I have to be actualized and having fun and
Fair.
Yeah, and I've actually applied that principle to my life in general.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good principle.
I mean, what do you think of the word selfish? Do you think it like carries an overly negative connotation?
No. I understand what you're saying, and yeah, I think that's a reasonable word for that situation.
Yeah.
What is Storm going to do? This is interesting. Cowboy opening me up there in the bottom is a bit risky. If I had cards on 3, I would absolutely kill him right now.
But you can't reach the northeast, can you?
No, not without cards.
No, that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's low odds to have a set on 3.
Yeah. Storm not going to be able to hit me right now there, I think.
I messed up 2 games this morning already in progressive, so...
What'd you say?
I say I messed up 2 games already.
I see.
It's all this waiting, and then...
Yep.
No payoff. Or you come so close. Have you noticed the dice have been defending a lot better recently?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just a lot closer to true random recently, and I'm not sure exactly when that change happened, but blitzes are just very volatile. That really made USA as round 2 in the 1v1 tournament a nail biter. My matches were close in part because my opponent was definitely more skilled than his rank, I think, but also dice being volatile just made it scary.
Who did you play round 2?
Felice.
Yeah, he's quite good.
Yeah, he was very good going first. I think I had a pretty clear advantage over him when I went first, but that only happened once in 6 games, so that made it extremely close.
A nail biter, huh? How do you keep yourself cool in the moment?
Yeah, it's something I'm still learning how to do. Last 1v1 tournament, I played Olive round 3, and I totally choked in one game, and I just ran out of time because I was, way up in my head and not paying enough attention. This game against Felice was the first one where, there was a chance. Ooh, was Storm going for Cowboy? Ooh, that's very nice for me. Thank you, Storm.
Uh-oh.
I don't even think I need to take cards for that, but I will.
Uh-oh. Do you sweep from this?
Possibly.
Can you get Storm too?
Possibly.
Cool. Let's see it.
I noticed that you said, "Can I get Storm?" and not you.
No. She has 5 cards.
Storm is way more worth it. It's true.
She has 5 cards. I don't have 5 cards.
But yeah, you do.
Oh no! I have 5. Fuck. Frail.
It's okay.
Don't do it, man. Don't give the bot second. It happens. It definitely happens. I was meaning to ask you, but I think we just got derailed. Yeah, you do sweep. You came to Discord. Why? Like, what kind of?
Yeah, I think I answered it. It was just an unsatisfying answer. At some point, I was just like, I've been playing Risk long enough. I should do this thing, this little button.
Oh right, you satisfied your curiosity. Okay, and then what made you stay? What is it about the community that sort of spoke to you?
I think internet communities can so often be kind of toxic places, and this was a relatively fun, nice, happy, positive one. That was really a surprise to me.
So refreshingly rare. Right? So refreshingly rare to have. Oh, you almost get me.
Nope. Yeah. Ouch. I'll just break you and.
You almost get me. Now we're in a 1v1 with a bot, sir.
Yeah.
All right. What's the cards?
I do not have cards.
Cards is 40. You have. Ooh, you're gonna get broken. Okay.
Yep.
It's a good thing USA was last round. I got my pathing down.
Yeah, I was sort of not really considering the bot there. Didn't look at how many were in the way. I think if I was close regardless, actually. If I had split that, potentially, that I didn't waste troops in the bot, that might have been okay.
Alright, I'm going to do something and you'll tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
This is my plan. I'm going to leave you with your bonus.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see how that works out. I mean, if you have a set on 3, I'm dead. But let's assume
I do not.
Let's assume you don't. Yeah.
Do not.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play to my outs.
It's.
You got time for? You got time
I can.
for one more after this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Do
Excellent.
you have a set on 3?
Let's find out. Nope.
Okay, then this is probably mine. I got a set on 4.
Yeah.
If I can not mess up the pathing, but yeah, this is USA. I think I can handle it.
I believe in you.
It's a nice move.
Thank you.
Making me bust through the bot.
Make you split to both ends.
I hope it doesn't. Do I have to? I don't think I do.
All right, you just hook around the floor. That's not even an end.
Unless I misclick, I think I've got this.
How badly are you at risk of misclick?
Oh, fairly high.
Oh man.
I very much empathized. Did you see any of that Vicky Dix versus Phil match?
I caught a little bit last night. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. When Vicky forgot to fortify back to his cap.
Oh man.
that was the one totally unnecessarily loss on his part. I empathize with that a lot. I actually the other day I was practicing with him. Good game. That was fun. I'm glad I came back after Cowboy betrayed me.
Betrayed. Horribly betrayed.
I thought I accepted his alliance request, and then he attacked me. But it turned out I had never accepted his alliance request.
Maybe that's why he hate you, dude.
Could be.
All right, haven't started. Do you have anything for settings, or do you want to let these? Looks like we got a bunch of people interested in the game, so yay!
Okay, great.
A map you like?
Yeah, I'm open. Castle was pretty fun.
Oh god!
I think were you in that game where Kilted handed me the game? That was amazing.
Hate Castle.
Okay. How about Italy or
yes, Italy?
Okay,
Italy.
Let's do that.
Cool. I like Italy a lot.
I like having a chance by not having to click so many territories.
Hey, Stove, how's it going?
Hello, guys.
How are you, man?
Hey, Stove.
I'm good. Just playing some command-based zombies. It's pretty fucking intense, man. That map is huge.
Did you win?
Yeah, 2 times. Me and Dirty got to the final 2 each time.
Wouldn't you know it?
Wouldn't you know it?
You and who?
I'm just getting a cup of coffee.
Dirty.
I'll be right back.
Dirty, okay. Gotcha. Who's General Sando? Okay, maybe somebody from the community?
I recognize that, but I can't remember who it is.
They've got a pretty good win rate for relatively low number of games played. Unclear if it's an alternate. Probably somebody that just follows Pete and is learning quickly.
Probably. So how was your show?
Good. Yeah, it's been nice chatting. I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. Gotta remember. Pete asked if there was anything that I wanted to come back to. Canadian culture, an important one. So, are you American or Canadian? You're American.
Yeah,
right?
I'm American, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought. I hadn't heard any distinct Canadian pronunciations.
Yeah, it's
Have you heard how they pronounce A's?
General Sando is in Fernox.
Oh, okay.
He says he's on his 5-round Rumble alt.
I see.
He made it alt just for 5-round rumble. That's awesome.
All right, ready up. Yeah, you want to juxtapose the Canadian culture with the American one. Oh, well, let's ask Stove. What do you see Canadians as?
People.
Sure. Do you choose to not engage in this conversation?
This is a weird conversation.
Okay, you don't have to. I'm not trying to make anyone uncomfortable.
So where do you live actually? Do you live anywhere close to the border?
In Las Vegas.
Ah, okay, not at all. Well, okay. I'm sure that you get some Canadians down there, but yeah, not close to the border, I guess.
No, but
So what are we doing? We're doing progressive on Italy?
we are.
Yep.
Okay.
But he's from the Midwest, so it's not. I've been to there, and it's very similar in geography to Ontario.
Yeah, it's like the Canada of the United States.
There you go. All right, good luck. I like this map a lot because with good players, your positioning can get really tight, and you can almost get blocked or really force your opponents to do kind of what you want.
Yep.
In the last game, Frail just got punched by Cowboy super hard and was able to recover and win, so that was nice to watch. And he smashed the shit out of me in the Mall of the Dead 1v1s with 4 bots. Both times.
I would say the bots smashed the shit out of you, and
You swept up?
yeah, I did my own thing undisturbed. And it worked well enough.
What do I do? Man, they spawned, they spawned me with an 8. It's a lot of troops.
Yeah, that is troops. One Canadian cultural thing that I, always an interesting topic. Ooh, coming over in my corner here, huh?
You want that corner? I could back off if you give me the other one.
Which other one?
If you want that
What do you
corner,
want?
if you can have southeastern France if I have northern Italy. I just don't feel like Dirty would. I don't feel like Dirty would let me take that. So
maybe not. Let's make an alliance and see if we can make something official.
Knowing what I know of Dirty, he's not going to stand for that shit.
It does not look like it,
Yeah.
but it looks like he might give you Ottoman Greece
He won't give me
potentially.
anything. I betcha. I played a bit with Dirty. I don't think he's going to give me fuck all.
It's progressive. Why would he?
No, because then maybe he can have something.
Okay, I'm just gonna make you think a little bit over there. Oh, that was dumb. That was a misclick. Not the most consequential one, but still dumb. Okay, so Alberta drivers I find to be insane,
How
and I
so?
think it's somewhat similar in the Vancouver area. Okay, so the idea, driving in like a dense, overpopulated, less developed country, let's say like, Mumbai or Bogota, Colombia, somewhere, where people there's no rules. I feel like that a little bit here, but there's no good reason, right? In a very dense city, in a country with less money, that makes sense, right? There's less money for enforcement. It's adaptive, but it feels like here, or even in the Bay Area, right? There's just too many cars for the roads, right?
Sure.
But in Alberta, it's big, it's open, there's a lot of road, and yet I feel like people are so possessive of every inch of road they can possibly get here, and it really drives me crazy. It just feels so aggressive.
It drives you crazy?
It does.
So I am, for the record, a super aggressive driver.
Okay.
I feel safest when I'm passing people because then I only have to pay attention to what's in front of me, generally speaking. Right? I can spend the cognitive load
making an
on
argument against passing. Just to be clear,
Yeah.
I think passing. Yeah. Okay.
So what,
How do you pass?
So how do you how do you find possessive then?
There are certain habits that I find that people do here that just really seem unnecessary. So flashing of lights if you're in the left lane going less than 10 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, right? It's like, get out of my way. This is my left lane.
I 100% do that. That's me being nice.
Okay, yeah, that's the funny thing. Because in Canada, when people do this, they're still very nice about it. Like,
No. That's like, hey man, if that's me, that's the start, right? If you stick around there, I'm going to ride you super hard until you get the fuck out of my way.
Oh man, I would not enjoy driving with you.
Then fucking leave the lane. You have a simple answer to solve this problem. It takes you 2 seconds. Why not do the thing?
It's inefficient, right? There are trucks in the right lane. Let's say the speed limit is 110 kilometers an hour. There's trucks in the right lane going 100.
Got it.
I want to go the speed limit and a hair more. I want to go 112, 115, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
That is an allowable speed.
Yeah.
I can't do that in the right lane. And if it's a 2-lane road, that leaves me the left lane, right?
You want to know? You want to know what's even worse is those trucks are governed out at 110.
Okay, sure.
They actually can't. You see how many fucking quagmires you see on the highways because these trucks passing trucks, but they can't because they can't go fast enough because the government limits how fast they're able to actually move. That's part of the problem that you're touching on. But yeah, I don't know. My opinion.
It's too bad Dirty's not in VC because this problem is way worse in Germany, but that's because of the law.
Sure. Well,
because there's no speed limit, no lane.
The way I see it is, I don't know who's behind me. I don't know if they're in some kind of emergency. I don't know why they're in such a rush. So my default is always, maybe that person needs it more than me. So if anyone is ever coming up behind me faster than me in the left lane, I move over.
Okay, see, but that's a little bit of it's a boy who cried wolf situation because people do that so often here that, it cannot be that all of those times someone is pregnant and about to give birth or, someone is bleeding out, right?
Of course not.
A lot of the times it must just be that someone is being unnecessarily aggressive, right? And so I actually habitually respond less to this
by slowing down. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is I think the place we disagree is where the default should be.
Okay.
Like, you're right. You're right that my style of driving is annoying and rude. Yes. No, I accept this. My style of driving is annoying to you and rude. On purpose. Because I have driven so much in my life and I don't want to drive for a second longer than I have to, and I want to get where I'm going as quickly as possible. And if someone's in front of me and the rule of the left lane is you move over, because then get the fuck out of my way. And you are 100% in the right to say that, wow, Pete, you're quite an asshole to take that position. So much for that stereotype about Canadians being nice.
So yeah, the ones that the one place I feel like they're not is on the road.
On the road, interesting, man. Yeah, no, this is a fun conversation. I'm also not claiming that I epitomize Canadians in this regard, but it is.
I think what you're saying sounds very representative.
Okay, cool. You've experienced this from Albertans, huh?
Yeah, it seems to be most major metro areas and even potentially rural Alberta as well.
So wait, where are you from that you're not used to this?
So, okay, people from the Pacific Northwest, when they're not actually from California, which sometimes happens, are really, what is Infernox doing? Just taking some territories, I guess.
He's subverting your expectations.
Yeah.
He's throwing you off
people
the
from the north.
He's in the left lane going faster than you.
Yeah, get him. I'm going to get him for his crime.
Yeah, I think, my response there is to take one territory and sit in the continent that it looks like he wants. Just like I sit in the left lane going a hair over the speed limit.
I love it. I love it. We would hate each other's guts, man.
Yeah, it's good we only play Risk together.
Nah, it's fine.
No, there you go. You got his territory. Yeah, so I'm from the Pacific Northwest of the U.S., Washington specifically. Yeah. And there's definitely a stereotype about Oregon drivers. I think it's also true for Washington drivers. I think Washington has gotten Californians imported a lot faster than Oregon, but it's also happening in Oregon. So that's changing, you know. The more people there are from Bay Area or LA traffic driving in those two states, the less passive it is. But, you know, those are the kind of states where you pull up to a four-way stop and there's two people stopped and it's like, oh, you go. No, you go. You go. And you really can be there for like 3 minutes.
Oh, my God. I would never put up with that shit. I would never.
I love that. Because it's safety first. And driving is dangerous. Honestly, this style of driving is more dangerous. I get into chicken games with Alberta drivers where, like,
yep.
You know, absolutely. I'm trying to merge and they're trying to not let me in. And I just keep merging. And it's like, okay, if you want to hit me, I guess that's what we're going to do, right? Like, if you want to drive that way, buddy, that's what we're doing. So
I love it because, like, we're both like kind of the like you said, it's a game of chicken. We're both like the alpha idiot in the room, and neither of us are going to back down. But we just have the opposite definition of what is correct.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So how many times have you been in a car accident, Pete?
Never at speed. Only fender benders.
All right. Yeah, I've been in a number of car accidents, so that's maybe
that's
part
scary,
of it.
Man. Yeah, I can imagine that would influence your decision making, of course. So
yeah,
I plow snow in the winter.
Sure.
So humbly, I would like to say I'm an excellent driver. Like I'm used to driving in low visibility conditions, dangerous conditions, at night, on low sleep.
Sure.
I've never really hit. I've hit like a garage door because I backed into it, but
sure.
Yeah, no real car-to-car accidents at speed.
Okay.
Here's a funny story, actually. I was first year I did plowing. My old man was going to help me out because I wanted to go on a vacation. And he gets in the truck. He's like, how hard could it be, right? I'll do some plowing for you, Pete. And then my buddy Dave will do the shoveling. It'll be great. You'll get back from your vacation. Everything will be fine. The very first house we try to plow, he drives up the driveway, he puts the truck in reverse, hits a moving car on the road. Literally the first house. Doesn't feel that he hits it. Almost hits it again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was expensive. And he was like, wow, this is harder than it looks. So there you go. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I've gotten myself out of some really sticky situations on the road.
So on the snow topic, though, certainly you realize from having all this experience driving in the snow that there are definitely times that even the safest driving, right? Sometimes the roads are just unpredictable, you know, and you can get into a crash, right? And so anything that makes the roads more dangerous under those circumstances is just intolerable, I think.
Yeah, the sooner we get apes away from the wheel of automobiles, the better, right? I can't see self-driving cars soon enough, please. I'm done. I don't need it anymore in my life.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. I am ready for the robot driving future.
Well, imagine also the cars are communicating with the other cars, so you can go super fast and not worry. It would be way safer.
And then the nerd in me is like, okay, you know, you can really start doing some very, very interesting experiments, you know, with traffic and stuff like that, right? Some physicists are already doing some pretty interesting theoretical modeling of traffic, and there's some good stuff that's coming out of that. But when you can actually do experiments, you know, by tweaking parameters in these self-driving systems, you know, that would be amazing, and we can really, you know, we can end traffic.
No, you want to next level that, not just end traffic, but why would we need to own these things? Right? Have it all be have transit be actually a public utility, and have like a pod show up to your front door, and for a reasonable fee take you wherever you want super quickly.
Yeah.
Like, just integrate the whole system. Why would we have to insure our cars and maintain them and drive them? It's ridiculous, and it's so expensive, and it's so wasteful, and to your earlier point, dangerous, and people die. Can we fix this system, please?
That would be very nice.
Wouldn't it? Utopia. Here we come.
Yeah, we're getting close. It seems like. I mean, yeah. So my partner and I have a 2000 and a 2001 car, and I am starting to shop for a new electric car, and it's really crazy. All these, semi-autonomous driving stuff that already exists. It seems like that future is not far off.
When you say physicists are modeling traffic, like, say a bit more about that. What do you mean?
So one branch of physics that I think is less known is there are really a ridiculous number of applications of it's called statistical mechanics.
Okay.
So thermodynamics is a branch of statistical mechanics. It's modeling thermal systems, right? And the same math, the same statistics that goes into all of that. I feel like something just happened, and I don't know what it was. Can also be applied to a lot of other systems, and some people are applying this to. I got a lot of troops here. What should I do with them? To biology, and modeling. Ooh, Infernox wants me to attack you.
Hey, get the fuck out of here!
I'm going to ask
Hey,
Infernox
I'm thumbs downing
to
him
move.
He's laughing. Sneaky. So, you know what I would have done on there, Frail? I would have moved your far eastern 11 down 2 spaces to where Infernox's 1 is, so that you would have a bit more occupation in the bottom right. Right?
Sure.
You're too north weighted on this map.
You mean down to Montenegro, Croatia?
Down to southeastern Serbia, from western Hungary. I would want
sure, yeah.
I would want to be in a more southern position than you are. But then again,
Yeah.
weighting it all up in that corner is the fixed play. It's like, well, now I'm going to take the continent whether or not you let me.
Yeah, I guess cards are already getting pretty big, so I should be thinking about that.
Just a pointer. That's what I saw
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
from your seat.
I am now seeing that Infernox is super weak.
Because he traded first for no reason. He just did it to fuck
There
around.
is no good reason for that.
GG Infernox.
Yep.
Still love you, buddy. He got the heart before death.
That's important.
It is. Now who eats me for my cards?
The card's on 3, and I think I should probably take it, because I think I would get killed otherwise.
Sorry, did I derail you from talking about physics? That was interesting.
Oh, yeah, just so people are starting to use statistical mechanics to model a lot of things happening in biology. So, active systems where, there's some, creature of some kind swimming. These really very similar models could be applied to traffic as well. I think I'm not as up on that as I should be, but I think we are learning really a lot about, how human behavior plays into traffic. It's kind of it's an emergent phenomenon. That's a word you used before.
Yeah. Well,
just going to take cards and do nothing.
Is anyone working on? This might sound super out there. Is anyone working on speculative evolution?
What does that mean?
Well,
maybe
you're talking about systems and how they change, and if you could apply physical principles to biology with a sophisticated enough model, could you not potentially predict the direction that organisms would evolve into?
I see. I think that's not even. I think biologists are on top. Sorry, I almost said something very condescending. Physicists like to get into other people's fields and do them for them. We really love our models, and we think they are applicable everywhere.
Okay.
And that's part of this, physicists getting into biology. But I think actually the biologists are on top of on top of that, and I think very good at modeling evolution. And I think that's kind of where some of our insights about past evolution come from, is from current models. Actually, you take some evidence and then you put it into a model and you see, do you get the result that we got today, right? And if it matches up, then A, your model is good, and B, you interpreted the evidence correctly, right?
Yeah. So
like you find some bone and you think, okay, I think this bone was from this, which then turned into a chicken today, right? And you can potentially, I'm probably overstating. I do not read this literature. I'm probably overstating what they can do, but I think that kind of thing may be possible.
Just personally, I'm waiting for them to even get the weather correct, because those models would be super. You know what? I'll tell you the difference. From 10 years ago to today, like from when I started in the snow business, we had no fucking clue. The weather report was a total crapshoot, and now they know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Sure.
They don't know what's going to happen next week. They don't have a fucking clue, but they know what's going to happen tomorrow, and that's really useful to have very, very high confidence predictions about what's going to happen tomorrow. Extremely useful.
Especially for your job.
Yes, for my job, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well,
you gonna kill dirty?
I can't.
No.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, I guess me, Stove, and Storm have a 7 pretty well locked in there. Really should have fortified out of Provence there, but I didn't pull that off.
This is the issue with the show, right? You get into too complicated of a topic of conversation, and then the game takes you right back to, oh shit, can I kill this guy?
Okay, he took cards. He's safe. That makes. I think probably a lot of that is computers, right? I think the trouble with weather modeling is that there's so much that is random about it that really you need enough computers to do it. I'm gonna lightly poke you.
Help yourself. Here. Enjoy. Very lightly, gingerly. Oh, I got another physics question for you. Here's.
I still should have fortified out of Provence. That was dumb.
Here's the deep place where physics and philosophy overlap, at least for me.
Okay.
And I would love to see where you take it. So
I think I'm going to have a very boring answer for you.
No, you probably won't. Even if we agree or disagree, it'll still be very interesting. So I took a philosophy of mind course once. And one of the questions in Phil of Mind is the interaction problem. Okay, so first question is, our mind, is there a mental substance and a physical substance, right? Is there something different between the mind and the body, or the mind and physical reality, or however you want to think about it? And if so, how do they interact? So like someone like Descartes, working in the 17th century, was like, there is I think it was the pineal gland where the mind and the body actually interacted, right? But our science doesn't really tell us that is true, and there's a position called eliminative materialism, which basically argues that there is no mental substance, and minds are material. Minds are essentially like a pattern of energy that is, we are our mind is the algorithm that is operating on the computer that our brain is, yes?
Sure.
Okay, so assuming that is true, the logical extension of that is, at least for me, and this is the part where I'm curious if you agree or disagree. The logical extension is that every atom that has been in motion since the beginning of time has been in motion according to the rules of physics, and therefore, absolutely everything is deterministic, and we don't have free will, we just appear to. Right? Even our choices are illusory.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that? Does that meet your expectation for how you see physics, first of all?
Yeah, no, that's a common question, I guess. And yeah, okay, I need to play my turn so that I can answer this.
Game first. I'm just trying to trick you, that's all. I'm trying to distract you with philosophical nonsense so you lose the game.
I'll just get closer to your stack there. I'll just shimmy on over there. Okay, so the interesting thing about that, with quantum mechanics, that becomes very interesting because, classically, right, if you think about, atoms as just little balls, right, you really could measure if we had the power to do this, you could measure the position of every atom at any point in the universe and then, in principle, predict, what they're going to do in the future, right? Mm-hmm. But quantum mechanics makes that a bit interesting because, measuring, right, then influences the system a little bit. And yeah, there's a couple things interesting about that with quantum mechanics. So one is, okay, how deep do we want to get? Yeah, quantum mechanics makes that interesting, I think, is the bottom line there. And there are some very deep questions that maybe would require more time than we have to get into. So one is the measurement problem. Mm-hmm. So we really don't understand what is the boundary between the quantum world and the classical world. How can we ever classically know something if, in the quantum world
that sounds like epistemology. That sounds like you've gone full philosophy again.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of quantum epistemology, I guess you could say, because it's very tricky to. I'm not even looking at this game at all. Do I have cards? I have some cards. Is there anyone I can kill that would be beneficial? Storm looks like someone killable right now. Would that benefit me? Yeah, why not? Let's try that and then get back to quantum stuff and make sure I don't miss any storm. Is that all of Storm? That's all of Storm. Goodbye, Storm.
Frail, do you get the perfect sweep on your own show? Do you win every game? Oh my goodness.
Alright, I'm going to call that done for now. Okay, back to, and I think that's an answer that we are starting to get. And it's a very weird thing, as with all things quantum mechanics. But
that reality is fuzzier than that.
No, so it's actually it's fuzziness that allows classical reality to exist. It's a very strange thing. So it's so if you think about measuring an atom with some kind of detector, some kind of block of metal, right? It's entanglement of the quantum state of the atom with all of the electrons and atoms in this, whatever metal block that you're using. It's the reproduction of the information.
Set on 5? Really? Unbelievable. I should not have won this game. I'm sorry, dude. Please keep going. Don't let me stop.
Sorry, yeah. I'm looking at the game. I'm looking at what moves you're making now.
I kill Stove.
All right, nice.
And then you.
And then you.
And then Dirty.
And then Dirty. Yeah. I win.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, I was going to kill Storm without a set. Then Frail saw it.
Yep. So it's this fuzziness, the fact that this the measurement doesn't happen. It's not like one electron in some block of metal measures this atom, right? It's all of them, and that reproduction of information, then that's what becomes classical, because there are so many copies of the same information. If you then think about reading out the measurement device, it's not the same thing. You could get into some kind of paradox, right? Well, okay, then to read out the measurement device, you have to make a measurement, right? It's not that, because there's many copies of it. It's this very, very interesting problem. And anyways, bottom line there is this is a big question. Oh, there it is. Nice. Good game. This relates to whether or not we could know the whole universe, right? Because at some point, something would have to measure it, right? Separately from that, you could say, could the entire universe be represented as a single quantum state? And we're all just, one quantum state that's all, all these fluctuations, many particles, all moving around, but not separate quantum states. It could be described as a single quantum state evolving according to the laws of quantum mechanics, and classical reality is actually just sort of an illusion within this quantum state. That could be, and we can never know. Okay. We really can never know. So I guess
not with more powerful computers or
no, because if we are part of this quantum state, then we can't measure it, right?
Sure. So doesn't that lend an argument to simulation theory?
Yeah, but I mean, that we can never know, and the answer is super boring, right? Is if it's a simulation, we have no way to find out.
Right.
If this particular idea of a simulation, a quantum state evolving, right? We would have no way to know, and that's disappointing, I guess. in some way.
No, it's that fun little overlap between my discipline and yours, right? Where physics becomes philosophy.
Yeah.
Frail, are you happy with this show?
Yeah. This is a lot of fun.
Good. I think. I don't know. Do you have to go see Olive play? When is that? We have like a half an hour.
Yeah. That's in half an hour. So I could play one more if you have time. But
I would love to. I would love to play one more. Okay, great. Because I feel like that. I don't want to just end on what I feel is almost the most interesting shit we got into. This is great. Like, this is. I don't know where to take the conversation though from there, because like, I think we agree there. What do you do? What do you do with fuzziness?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I think I missed a point in there. Let me think if I can come back to something there. Right. I mean, yeah. So then, like, I guess my ultimate bottom line there is it doesn't really matter whether or not we have free will, right? Because in this particular potential model of us being in a single quantum state, we would have no idea.
Right.
We can never know if we have free will. So. Is it a worthwhile question to ask? If it can never be answered, I don't know.
Oh, so okay.
You invited me again.
So that is like the criticism of philosophy, right? Like, why bother?
Sure.
Why all this hot air over nothing if you're never going to find the answer?
Sure.
And,
I mean, there is. This is maybe insulting to other parts of philosophy, but I know there are some empirical parts of philosophy, right, where people are starting to ask measurable questions and try to answer them, maybe in collaboration with some psychologists.
Sure, but as soon as it becomes measurable, it ceases being philosophy and it becomes physical science. So,
okay,
right?
Sure. Yeah, not meaning to denigrate the asking of the question.
Well, so that's exactly where I was going to go with it. Is for me at least, I find the asking of the question aspirational. Right, I enjoy the road that I'm walking. It's like, you don't play these games. You said earlier on in the show, right? You would certainly not play these games if you knew the outcome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not about the outcome. It's about the journey to discovering the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for me, just, physics has such a different approach. I'm just so habitually taking the opposite.
That's cool.
Tack, which is if it's not an answerable question, it's not worth my time.
Yeah,
because
I spend so much of my time on the unanswerable, and I don't see it as a waste at all. I see it as like the most interesting thing I could be doing with my thoughts.
And that's that's the incentives that our disciplines offer us, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I didn't choose this. It chose me. This is what my mind likes to do, right? When I went to school and I saw all these philosophy courses and I wasn't interested in anything else, And then when I went back to school and I saw all these philosophy courses and I wasn't interested in anything, right? I mean, mow lawns and think all day long. That's my brain loves it. And is it pointless? Is it a waste of energy? Not for me. Maybe for you. This is why we walk different paths.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. In high school, I really, it's also that's kind of there's another branch of humanities that's similar. I guess sort of more like the textual analysis kind of branch of the humanities. People also just really love asking the question. And at some point in my PhD, I started to find that approach, of like asking the question and the conclusion always being, well, there's no answer, right? It's just asking the question that matters. On places where I really felt there was an answer, I came to find that extremely frustrating. I mean, yeah, I guess how do you feel about that? I mean, asking unanswerable questions, right, and just enjoying the asking of the question, right? That's a personal tasting. But asking answerable questions and not hunting for the answer particularly hard. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think, honestly, man, I think you might be fooling yourself a bit by your definition of an answerable question. Like,
I think physicists are just very good at asking answerable questions.
Well, yes and no. So what happens if we build a more powerful... Okay, everyone ready up. We build a more powerful electron microscope.
Yes.
And we discover that the bosons are the... What are the up quarks and the down quarks? There's something smaller than quarks now, right? Or no? Is this the smallest thing we can see?
That's really higher energy physics than I'm looking at atoms, and that's
okay. No, but the point I'm making is the smaller you look at something, the more and more micro you go, the more you discover it's more and more micro.
Sure.
And I'm guessing that is the same for the macro as well. If you build a more powerful telescope, we will discover multiple universes and multiverses and whatnot. Right? I feel like it's infinite in both directions, and I don't have a scientific argument to make that claim, but I have a philosophical one. So
sure.
I would say to you that the thing you think you're measuring might not be the thing that you're measuring. Because it
so physicists have an answer to that.
Hook me up, yes! Hook me up, buddy. Excellent.
Okay, so there's this approach in physics called renormalization group.
Sorry, say again?
It's called renormalization group.
Renormalization group. Okay.
Yes, and it is an extremely powerful approach to approximating things or to getting some kind of an answer out of a very hard question in physics. I'm not liking where you placed there, Stove. Yeah, one conclusion. So I'm sure you've heard of the Planck scale.
Yep.
So that's sort of related to this renormalization group approach. Is that sort of comes out of that is maybe a scale that pops out from this approach as a place where things are different, right? And maybe that's not the true ultimate reality, but they're different. And everything else above that, we are very sure it's an approximation, right? We're 100% sure that everything that we know as physical law is an approximation.
Okay.
Maybe not 100%, but we strongly believe that.
Okay.
In part from experience, we've seen that happen many times. That we think we were getting to fundamental truth. It's sort of maybe a little bit of a cynicism of physics after a lot of people were really looking for grand unification theories. I think we've sort of given up on that as a discipline and decided that's not possible, and that's okay. Everything that we know is an approximation, but they're very good approximations that allow us to answer questions, so we love them, right? They are good enough approximations.
Yes.
And placing troops.
Right. So that adds credence to what I was saying without... It's similar to your response to whether or not we can know free will exists. It's pointless since we can't know it. It makes no difference, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're getting at maybe is a disagreement on what matters.
Well, yeah. And so what I'm saying is yeah, you're right. This isn't really the fundamental truth. This isn't the reality. We as physicists don't care. it's good enough.
Right.
This, the descriptions that we have of the universe are good enough for us for now.
And it has to be, otherwise we're not having a meaningful conversation about anything. And it goes back to being philosophical. Cool. Okay, I like that. I'm not trying to waste people's time. Like, I do see some good born of the asking.
Sure.
Like, I like iterating to a better world, even if the world we live in is good enough. And it is good enough, right? My life is wonderful and it's beautiful, and that doesn't mean that the part of my brain that is dissatisfied and motivated to make things better is rendered toothless by the fact of our world's, tremendous bounty.
Sure.
Yeah. We can always be better.
Yeah.
Right? We can always have less people who are disenfranchised by circumstance or in pain, or we could always have systems that, incentivize joy or flourishing or pleasure or fun or any of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, it's aspirational.
Ultimately, this is, that approach I described is probably a lot less disappointing to you as a philosopher. It's a common disappointment for young physics students, right? They think they're getting into physics to, understand how the world works, right? And then it's like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Everything's an approximation, and you can't even really learn the good approximations for a couple years. So,
because it's too complicated.
Yeah, you're going to work on the 18th century approximations for now. Thanks. And they find this extremely dissatisfying. They're like, no, I want to understand reality. And it's like, sorry, buddy. Like, we won't.
Then be Stephen Hawking, and you still won't get there.
Yep.
Right. Let's imagine that. I don't know. Like, who's doing the pushing the envelope in physics these days? Like, who is the Michael Jordan of physics, if not Hawking?
Physics is really growing increasingly fractured as time goes on. Like I said, physicists are branching off into other disciplines. Biophysics is really rapidly growing, right? So, people who are leading in biophysics are doing amazing things, and they are so wildly different than the people leading in cosmology or high energy physics, right? Who are working on something that, again, your teenager getting into physics would think of as, discovering the universe, right? Like understanding, some kind of underpinnings of emergent behavior in biology is just so different than what's inside a quark, right? And I don't really know that those two people know how to talk to each other except in terms of models. They often share a lot of similar models for totally different things. But like for the actual topical knowledge, so bottom line is I don't know because I'm in my corner. And especially during the pandemic, I've kind of checked out. I'm not currently based at a university, so I'm not going to seminars. I don't know. I don't really know who's a big leader right now in my field, which is a little embarrassing.
Well,
but
maybe it's just because it's in flux.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is really pretty rapidly changing right now.
Didn't Hawking live decades past his diagnosed life expectancy? So it's a bit of a miracle that we had that man for as long as we did.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah,
he was in the middle of some black hole project too when he passed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know that, as you would expect.
Yeah, they got to 3D get like a 3-dimensional picture of a black hole using multiple telescopes around the world.
Oh yeah, was he involved in that project in some way?
No, Hawking, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I know one of the big frontiers in the sort of like what is reality end of physics is quantum gravity. It's that's one of our biggest puzzles that we know exists still is like we don't have a quantum understanding of gravity. But I think again that field even is so fragmented.
So wouldn't there be if there's so the Higgs boson is for mass, right?
Yes.
So then there would be a gravitic boson, right?
Something like that. You think,
okay.
Potentially.
Sure. Well, wouldn't you just assume that to be true, and then we would have to figure out a giant CERN-like device to measure it?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
but of course, right. First, before that, you need models of what you can measure, right? And it's very hard. That's kind of a betting game, right? It's a little bit like, and it's also everybody's got their own personal favorite model. It's kind of like maps and Risk, right? I've got my favorite maps. You've got your favorite maps.
Sure.
It's sort of like that with models, right? I love this particular class of models, and maybe I have good reason to think, I haven't abandoned them because I think they might be the ones that explain quantum gravity, but also I just really like playing with them, right? It's a thing like that there, and until we get really clear evidence that one of them is right, it's just going to be kind of a zoo of models.
And then inevitably the next set of models.
Yeah, somebody will become, the leader of the models at some point when theirs turns out to be right, but it's just a betting game.
How do you make an educated guess in that way? Or is it just you have to do more and more complex math and figure it out the hard way?
I think a little bit is just having a nose for it, and a lot of it is luck, right? Mm-hmm. I think there's sort of, a lot of people have an issue with string theory for being overly complicated math. It has too many knobs you can turn such that it can answer any question. So, one sort of vague, what do you call it, heuristic that physicists use to assess models is, is it a simple enough model? If the model is too complicated, then it's not beautiful. It's probably not the right one. Of course, if you look at the standard model, you would say this is not beautiful. Is this really it? But compared to other things that could explain it, it's relatively simple and beautiful.
Standard model is Einstein?
Standard model is all the quarks and the force mediators that we do understand, photons and the unification of the electric and magnetic forces, that kind of stuff, and the weak force as well.
Is there a boson for the weak force that is known?
Yes. This is one of those things you learn in a class and then never come back to. I think it's a Z meson. There's also strong force has also been unified in there. That also has its own boson. I think the boson.
I'll just help the audience if you're feeling a little bit lost. The word quantum physics refers to quanta. So you're trying to quantize the force, which means you're trying to find a particle that you can measure that carries the force, and this is what the Higgs boson was. They were seeking it, and it was postulated, and then they found it using CERN in Switzerland. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop, but I was trying to give a little bit of context to people who aren't super into physics.
Yeah, no, that's a really good explanation.
Yeah,
get the stuff down.
I have it down as a layperson. I definitely couldn't tell you any of the math.
It's funny because your explanation is probably better than anyone that I could give if I tried to sit down and explain it carefully. Because I probably honestly think about the standard model less than you do.
Sure, you've internalized
I'm stuck in my corner.
For better or worse, you're stuck in your corner.
Yep, I'm playing with my electrons, and
that's the only way to advance. That's the once we've fractured the scientific disciplines to this point, we've made pushing the frontier so much more complicated, and complexity stacks on top of complexity, and right at some point you just have to say I get it, and this is where I'm gonna. Yeah. I think so. Tying it back to biology a little bit, this is a bit of a Pete theory, but I think that the types of work that you're doing and that research scientists are doing is actually the most human thing we do from a biological perspective, right? As an organism, we invent and innovate things that don't exist. So we are the inflection point of the infinite process of creation, and we make things first in our own minds, and then we bear that out in reality, and that is the miracle of what humans are. No other animal really does that. So it's the most human thing you could be doing, and I really think that the space that science and research science occupies in our culture is drastically undervalued compared to, if world famous scientists were treated and paid like rock stars and athletes, I think that would be reprioritizing our culture properly.
Okay, I have a small disagreement with that. From my perspective, being sort of in academia, I'm a postdoc, so it's a kind of a floating, semi-independent researcher, but I still have a boss. I'm not, I'm not a professor, but I have a PhD, and this can be a very long time in academia where you're floating without a permanent job.
Sure.
And I would really like to see actually more reasonably okay paid jobs as opposed to a small number of extremely well paid jobs, because it's already academia just it's romanticized a little bit as this really nice freedom, right? So many people aspire to it, and there are really just so few jobs. It's an extremely competitive job market, and I think that is to the detriment
they're
of
producing
our science.
they're producing way too many PhDs compared to, right? It's either a circle jerk where you stay in academia your whole life, or
Yep.
Yeah.
It's probably much worse in philosophy, honestly.
Oh please, academic philosophy is just people listening to themselves talk. It's irritating, not for me.
I mean, okay, so there's that, but the job market, I think, is probably even worse. The relative rate of PhDs produced versus, permanent positions, I think, is worse than in physics. I mean, at least in physics, right, I always have the back door of I can go into industry, probably take a very nicely paid job, probably in something pretty close to what I want to be doing, and it may just come with a little less freedom than academia, and there is not quite the same option, I think, in philosophy. Okay.
So Nick had a question. If the creation and pursuits of sciences is truly the most intrinsically human behavior, where would that leave us if another species existed that did so? Oh, I mean, no, you're taking the meaning of the word human. Like, that's what we do, and as far as I know, no other species does that, but I fully believe that there will be and could be others that do so, and we're not special. Right, we're just one link in the chain. I actually think that the thing that we evolve into is techno-organic, right? Some kind of conscious AI that is part of an evolutionary process that we started. And maybe the consciousness of us can be downloaded into those programs, but we merge with it, right? As we already have, right? Everyone walks around with a cell phone in their pocket, which is essentially like a cybernetic extension of your mind. It's just not implanted yet into your skull, but it will be, right?
Yep.
I'm just answering Nick's question there. I don't know if that was a satisfying answer for you, but he says we're not special, and the concession immediately halts any philosophical interrogation I may have pursued. Yeah, I don't think we're special, man. I just think we are the only type of organism that we know of that does it quite like we do. It was the best answer I could have given. Thank you, Nick. I try so hard to satisfy you, buddy. Frail.
You got pings too, and
I see this. I Enjoy Sleeping is asking about the James Webb Space Telescope. What have you heard about this? What is this telescope?
I have heard of it. I Enjoy Sleeping knows more than me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of it. So, should I look it up, or are you going to share what you have to share? Sleeping.
I know nothing. Maybe I Enjoy Sleeping can give us some context. Maybe I can quickly read some Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That's always, trying to talk about other parts of physics that are not my own. at least what I can offer is quickly reading Wikipedia, maybe being able to do that faster than somebody else, and interpreting it a little bit. It's
You're good at researching more research.
Yep.
Excellent. Here's where
Is there a problem with it?
Here's where the game gets spicy. See, I want to keep this renormalization group tab open so I can read about that too.
Yeah.
James
So the one
Webb.
disappointing thing I have to tell you there is, without doing some math, renormalization group makes, well, that's not true. I was going to say it makes very little sense, but I think you're capable of
Nope.
At least
Nope.
an abstract understanding
Incorrect.
of it.
No. The second the math comes in, I'm lost. Totally lost.
The most disappointing thing I tell a lot of people who are trying to learn a bit of physics on the side is that often the best way to understand physics is through the equations.
Yeah.
And no one wants to hear that you really need to do a lot of calculus to
Well, no, it's just a
understand.
language I don't speak, right? You see
Yeah.
the equation, some part of your mind wraps around it and says, I now understand what this means, and it becomes meaningful to you, and you now speak that language, and I lack that ability thus far.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
I also,
Okay, so, yeah,
I also
it's
learned
a-
once that chess grandmasters parse a chessboard using the language circuit in their brains too. So I assume we're doing something similar, which might be why we have trouble talking and playing Risk at the same time.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Still gonna do something here.
Gonna finally
Okay,
take
so
me
the
out of
game's-
this corner.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I can do. Like, I don't find any easy kill path here.
That was
Yeah.
the idea. That's like what I love and hate about this map.
Yeah, I can't eliminate anybody here, so
Okay, so
How-
James Webb
how
is
fun.
the successor to the Hubble telescope, it looks like.
Cool.
Getting launched in December 18th.
Is it
No,
still?
sorry,
Is it still an
it did
optical?
launch, rather. That
Is
was
it-
2021.
Is it still an optical telescope, or is it something fancy?
It sounds like maybe it has a couple different sensors. It does have an optical part. Has improved infrared resolution and sensitivity over Hubble, so that's nice. Yeah, sounds like still mostly optical wavelengths.
All right, we have another question. Nick would like to know what your favorite state of matter is and/or particle type.
Ooh, okay. The state of matter one. This is a great opportunity to talk about states of matter from a physicist's point of view. So, I think we're taught in 6th grade or something, right? There are 3 states of matter, right? It's solids, liquids, and gases, and then maybe at some point, and there's also plasma, right? But the way that physicists think about states of matter or phases is really, it's about the borders between them, and there are really infinitely many states of matter, right? So you can think about like the different crystal structure in a chunk of metal, right? Those are actually different states of matter, and you need to go through some kind of phase transition to switch between them. You need to melt that metal and then cool it back down to get it to a different crystal structure, or just hit it really hard. Also works sometimes.
Okay.
There's really infinitely many states of matter. We think about them really in terms of these boundaries between them. It's that, often heating, right? Crossing some threshold where suddenly everything behaves differently in the material, that phase transition. So I do not have a single favorite phase of matter. Okay, is there anything I can do here? No, everyone took cards. I guess I should take cards, but I don't have them. That's bad.
You don't have
Maybe
them. Oh no.
I probably die.
Well,
Let's
no
see
one
if I
has a
can-
trade.
That's true. Probably no one can knock me out. Wow, yeah, everybody took cards. So no favorite state of matter, I think. Unless, maybe there's a crystal structure that's very cool, or Think about that for a minute.
It was a stumper, Nick. Good job. Well done,
Okay,
sir.
so personally, my favorite one. So there's a new area of research in magnetic materials that I've contributed a teeny little bit to, looking at these little bubble-like textures in magnetic materials, and these are bubbles on the nanometer scale, tiny, tiny, tiny little bubbles that you can potentially move around and use as memory. So kind of similar to the way normal memory in your computer works, where it's either the magnet is pointing up or down. It's some nanometer-sized little bar magnet, and you apply a little magnetic field and cause it to switch. The advantage of this would be they're actually mobile, so it's solid state potentially. The readout device wouldn't move. And yeah, the skyrmion phase, which is actually a lie because there's still various skyrmion phases, but the skyrmion phase or state in certain magnetic materials is pretty cool. They look really nice.
Sorry, how do you pronounce or how do you spell?
Skyrmion. It's named after
R-M Skyrmion. I see it. M-I-O-N.
Yep, named
Cool.
after a guy, Tony Skyrmy, of course.
Of course. Make it easy for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure sharing that detail would make me extremely identifiable to any of my colleagues. So hopefully no one that I work with
Plays Risk?
watches your show. Or plays Risk at all. It'd be great. Okay.
You'd rather keep your identity somewhat secret still. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't say anything too negative about my job, but I
don't
am.
think you said
on this
anything
show-
negative about your job, man.
Okay, yeah, I'm on this show during work hours, so there's that.
See, now that's just a thing you shouldn't say, though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you
why-
just
don't
announced
say
that.
that.
Nobody knows what time this show happened.
As long as you didn't say it, it would have been fun.
Well, no, everyone does.
I plead
tell myself
the
real quick.
fifth to self-incrimination. Okay.
Okay, wait, so what was the other part of the next question? Favorite particle. Obviously the electron, because it's the best. I love electrons. They're almost like photons. You can do all this, really nice measurement with them, but they're a little bit weirder. So that makes them great. They're very controllable, but a little bit weird. And they have charge.
As are all fun
Just-
things.
And math. Come on. You gotta have a part with math. Ooh, things are
And here we go.
Okay.
Oh, maybe he just wants a bonus.
Okay.
Oh my god.
He did it for a bonus.
No, he didn't.
Tough titties.
Really? Is really an option? No, we got to stop it right now. Too bad.
Stop
Tough
it.
titty. That should be an emote.
Well, considering he broke 2 stacks for that, I'm not touching it. So have fun.
I mean, he really wanted that bonus.
He did.
Okay.
Well, that totally shut down the conversation, didn't it? Got really quiet and like,
Wait, shit's
Yeah,
happening,
I'm
finally.
now.
What is a neutrinome? I don't know. What is one?
Wait, neutrino?
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't heard of that. Is
a
that
neutrino.
Yeah, maybe it's neutrino.
I know what that is. Those particles that be shot from the sun.
Yeah, but it sounded like he was saying neutrinome.
Yeah, well, that's how we
spelled.
spelled it.
Gnome.
That's how we spelled it.
What is that?
Some of James Webb's major goals are around the understanding of the early formation of our universe, which is reliant on the idea that our universe started with the Big Bang and is expanding. The space between galaxies stretches as the universe expands, and that means that light emitted from the galaxy is getting stretched as it travels through space. We call this cosmological redshift. Yeah. So that's what the stated aim of this telescope is.
That makes sense.
All right, here's where I try and throw my spanner into the works.
Rude.
Let's just Plug
Not
it
that
up.
I could have
Plug it up a
really
bit.
done anything. Do I want to get in Black's business? I'm not sure.
It's scary.
I don't think they can punish me. They can punish you for it, but I don't think they can punish me for it.
You don't move your 27.
All right, Nick wants to ask you some questions as well.
How about Nick? You just unmute yourself.
Yeah, no, I gave him the role so he can pop back into the VC if he wants to.
Well, he's in here.
Yeah, but I don't know if I think you can apply the role.
Wait, now he's gone.
Oh, I
Wait,
see
now
what
he's
you
gone.
mean. Yes, he couldn't unmute himself. Okay, gotcha.
I had to refresh to be able to talk.
Right.
Sure.
Welcome, Nick.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Black is just making my game right now.
I don't know what that magnetic stuff you were talking about before was, but it sounded like a ferrofluid, kind of.
Don't know what a ferrofluid is, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's it's a particle-like phase.
Are substances that exist in a liquid state that react to magnetism very, very effectively. Like if you hold a magnet to them, they'll start forming solid shapes.
Okay,
But-
so like actually a liquid material that is magnetic.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so this is particles in a solid that can flow. So they're like magnetic. They're particles of magnetic flux, right? Of magnetism itself. So it's a quasi-particle that can flow within a solid material. So similar but different.
Yeah. The container's different.
Yeah, exactly. Huh? Yeah. Ferrofluid sounds pretty weird. Something happening? Maddie didn't kill anyone. What is Maddie doing?
I mean,
Or is he
things.
killing someone?
It's very difficult to kill anybody right now.
That's the fun.
That's the fun. Trying to figure out this puzzle.
That's the sadistic fun. We're all just trapped in purgatory with you.
Oh no, this game will end. It always does.
Will end with your soul.
It's a Rubik's Cube, this map.
That is.
What map are you playing?
Alanis.
Yeah, that figures.
You gonna kill Pink, Pete?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah,
Out of the
Yeah, I
interest,
would have done it if you didn't.
nice.
out of the interest of conversation, I will answer my own question from earlier and say that my personal favorite state of matter is time crystals.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Pretty weird. I honestly thought that was a joke when that was first proposed. I read the paper. I was like, "What is this craziness?" And okay, it turned out the guy was a little bit crazy and really missed.
Sounded
some
crazy.
key
Turned out the
features.
guy was crazy. That's
He
great.
did. He did.
But yeah, people got excited about him. So yeah. The key feature is you have to be actively pumping or removing energy into the system to stabilize them, which is why it seemed so weird and crazy. And I think the guy who proposed them missed that key fact. So there was a lot of skepticism early on. But yeah, they're pretty weird, wild things.
Did you see they actually scaled it up to a size where they could take a photo of it though?
Huh, okay, that's pretty
Record
cool.
a video of it. It is surprisingly stable.
Okay, what is it? Hook me up. What is define a time crystal for me, please?
I think I should let the physics major explain what it is.
Somebody hook me up.
Okay, let's see. So
Thanks,
yeah, so
Maddie.
I avoided these. I avoided these a little bit again early on because I was a little bit skeptical. But I guess it's a system that is periodic in time, but not in the normal way, right? That's also another reason why it seemed weird at first, because many things are periodic in time, right? But it's periodic in time in a slightly unusual way. Yeah, because it resembles so many other things. Okay, what is the name for this? There's a oh, there it is. Nice job, Pete.
Thank you, sir.
There's a classical analog out there. What is it called?
Are you thinking of time symmetry or?
No. So there's a classical phenomena that's really similar to time crystals. I'm trying to use that to describe what a time crystal is, but yeah, honestly, I forget what they are.
Oh, fuck it.
Uh-oh.
Yep,
What happened?
Fucked up.
I wasn't spectating. I accidentally clicked out.
I missed a path.
The Twitch stream is still live.
Okay.
And I can go live for you too if you like.
No, I'll
Either
hop
one.
on there. Nope, Twitter, not Twitch.
Who tweets?
So, also in the Twitch chat, it says, BB35, you didn't tell me what a neutrino is.
I think he's trolling.
Maybe.
He doesn't. What the fuck's a neutrino? I don't think anyone knows. Are you making up words, Wes? Neutrino.
Maybe it was misspelled?
Yeah, he did misspell it. It's neutrino. It's,
What?
I am not making it up. Well, then why isn't there a Wikipedia article on it?
We are swimming in them.
I've heard of neutrinos before. I don't know what the hell they are, but
Go, Maddie, go.
Go, Matty, go.
Oh, Maddie, go.
Oh, he's going for the kill. Let's see it, Matty.
Nice.
I think he can do it. He has enough troops.
I give it up on explaining what a time crystal is.
I was going to do that, but now I'm trying to find the Twitch stream, which is a way harder thing for me. How do I look up Pete's?
You
current
can
live
just
stream?
click on my
No, it's
Discord.
Stove.
And it's
Yeah, that's
in
your
the
trick.
profile.
I'm not. I don't
Stove
do.
is live.
I don't do these shows live.
Right.
But Stove,
Okay, gotcha.
Stove is live right now. Yeah.
It's potato time, right?
No, it's AK Spud Time.
Oh.
Get it in there, Maddie. Get it in there. Do not run out of time,
Have
you
the
shit.
time to do it. See you
Tick
later.
tock,
Bye.
motherfucker.
Tick tock, motherfucker.
Go. Get it. Get
Oh,
it.
baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Shit.
oh.
No.
And there you have
That's
it,
good.
ladies and gentlemen.
Neutrino. See, yeah, as I was saying, like the spelling may have been off. Oh.
All right, Frail. Dude, thank you so much for chatting. That was mind expanding and super fun.
Yeah, I know. Is
Really?
this conversation over already? I don't want it to be over yet.
I don't want it to be over, but I did promise Frail that he would have his chance to watch Olive's match.
Yeah, I'm sure this first game isn't even over yet, but I do want to hop over there pretty soon.
And fair enough. We've had enough of your time, and I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, it's really fun playing with you. Nice talking to you.
Back at you, man.
Talking driving, snow, and the border between physics and philosophy.
You
This episode will require a part 2. This is to be continued,
I'd love to.
in my opinion.
Cool. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching the show. Thank you, Frail, again. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Nick and Stowe, for coming on and chatting as well. Ending it here. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along the ride with me. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do a fixed game every Friday. I do the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast on Wednesdays, and every other day I do whatever I feel like. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.